G'day guys, welcome back. Today I'll be working on the Evo, so something a bit different to the normal four drivey type stuff. A couple of weeks ago I got a Shan Motorsport Intercooler water spray bar. These Evos come with OEM water sprayer for the intercooler. I thought the spray bar would be a nice upgrade without having to change much of the wiring or the pump or anything like that, but it kind of was a little bit underwhelming and just sort of dribbles out kind of like the OEM spray bars. So I've gone and got the rest of their kit, which is a pump, wiring harness, relay and that sort of stuff. So I'm going to get the Evo out, rip the back seat out, rip the pump, OEM pump out, put all the new Shan Motorsport stuff in, and we'll have a look at what the spray bar does with the OEM pump and how it works then after with the Shan Motorsport pump. So let's get to it. Alright, this is the rest of the kit. Wiring harness, some poly fittings, a strainer or filter, bulkhead fitting, PVC hose, and obviously the pump as well. So I'll get the back seat out and we'll have a look at this. Alright, that's the back seat out of the Evo. This white pump here is the one for the sprayer. This one is the one for the water windscreen wipers. So just need to pull this one out. There's a fair bit of water in this tank, so I might just drain it out with the pump and we'll go from there. Right, the pump's stopped pumping water, so obviously the level's down far enough. The beauty of this is I'm actually able to use the link ECU that's in this car to trigger the pump rather than just waiting for the settings to trigger the pump or to hardwire it or anything like that. So from factory, the GSRs have the water spray set up, but the MRs don't. But if you actually look into it further, the OEM settings for temperature and all that sort of stuff are so high. They probably really don't even work from factory, let alone having a piss poor pump and spray bar itself. So, you know, being able to get in and modify the on-off timers and temperatures and whatnot for the spray bar, plus then upgrade it with this pump as well, is going to do hopefully a world of good. So looking around for a good spot to mount this new pump, which is here, there's a inlet and outlet arrow on there, so left to right. But what I'm going to do is mount this just in here onto this bracket here. I should be able to get my drill in from the other side there. Screw this down, keeps that pump nice and low under the water level, and then the bulkhead fitting will go in there where the OEM pump is. Run the hose through to here and then use this to connect it up and run back through to the OEM position. Let's get that done. Alright, the pump's now mounted in here. I'm going to zip tie it back to the earthing cable there for the battery as well, just to secure it a bit more. Comes with bare wires, so I'm going to slap a connector on here and wire in the harness and then back to the OEM plug over there, and obviously swap that pump out, put the bulkhead fitting in and plumb it all up. Let's get to it. Now I've just got this bulkhead fitting in for where the OEM pump was. Before I go any further, I've tightened it up, but before I go any further I want to fill this tank back up. So I'm going to put some of that pipe in here and hold it above the tank level, and we'll add some more water just to make sure it doesn't leak before I get too carried away. Alright, that's above the bulkhead fitting now. It's not leaking, so I'm going to go ahead and finish fitting the rest of this pipe work and the filter and all that sort of stuff, and we'll get on to testing. Out of the bulkhead fitting, into the filter. I'll zip tie this up in a minute. Round it down through there into the pump. And then from the other side of the pump we'll run back into the OEM hose. We'll just finish that off. Alright, finally got it all rerouted. I did plan to use the OEM rubber hosing that was running through the car, but the pressure in the pump is so much it just keeps blowing the connections apart, so I've had to rerun all the poly tubing all the way through the front and to the spray bar. So that's all works now. Wiring is still an absolute mess, so I'm going to tidy all that up, connect it to the OEM pump switch and put the car back together.